Thank you, Earl. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be back as well. And good morning to those who are on Zoom as well. My topic today is about believe, persist, and persevere. Why is it? Probably just timing. Autumn and coming winter, you will see the attendance of the congregation drops. Sickness and some health challenges, put it this way, and also in those who are non-believers. This is where usually sadness occurs, easily challenged by temptations, pushed by problems, and taking different directions. They usually find the lows of their life. So I thought let's revisit believe, persist, and persevere, especially for Christians. And would like to start, what are the 8 traits that lead to great success? And to define success first, it's a level of accomplishing or achieving one's goal or dream. So those people who are achieving what they want to extend where they got everything they want is so successful. It can be health. It's not necessarily wealth. A healthy person is a successful person. It can be intellect, and it's also marital or family. We want to have a very uh, um, disciplined, we want to have a very close-knit family. You are considered successful. A successful person is someone who finds fulfillment to those achievements. So it's not confined to wealth alone. What are the traits of this success? One, people who's got passion, people who's got work, people who are focused on the things that they do, and people who push the boundaries. And those people who's always looking for ideas, those people who welcomes new ideas, knowledge, they tend to be successful people. Those who are open to improvement, things to get themselves better, students in particular, you're on the road to success. 7, those who are happy to serve, they find success in them. And last, those who persist, those who never stop, those who never give up, eventually gets what they want in their life. What is the difference between persistence and perseverance? Because sometimes you can interchange them. Persist is the fact of continuing in an opinion or course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. If you're studying 4-year course, year after year, the subjects are becoming difficult and difficult, but you keep turning up to school, doing your assignments, doing your projects. It's becoming difficult, yes. The weather isn't great, yes, and you're still there, and then you finish your course. But what about perseverance? Perseverance, the attitude of keep going despite great opposition. The subject suddenly is being changed. It happened to me one time. I supposed to do asset management. On my first year, the whole course actually was dissolved by UniSA. And so I have to change to project management. An increased persistence after failure. And this is where actually people give up. When they feel they failed on something, they just give up, turn around, do something else. So the difference of persistence and perseverance is when you feel you failed and you still keep going, you still want to try it until you get it, you are into next level. You are now persevering, almost to the point of facing impossibility. Each of us has aspiration in life that we hope we will achieve one day. Our dreams sometimes are short term, mid, long term. For adult, it's about what? Family, great family, retirement. Each stages of life presents different aspirations. And it's so nice to keep remembering. I'm nearly 50 now. Remembering those years of what I want to achieve in life when I was teens. It's one example in the Philippines. If you want to play basketball, you just put a hoop on any straight tree there and you're off for a game. For children, it's just about being happy for the day. It could be games, it could be playing, either with family or friends. You just want to enjoy the day. For kids, children, it's mainly daily goal, daily achievement, short term. But for the youths, it's different. You can see students in high school. Abby and Stella is now in uni. They want to develop friendship. They're starting to choose who they want to be friends with and make sure they will be happy on that group. They start to think of their career, their future, what they want to be in their life. People goes to trade, people goes to uni. The bottom line is to increase their competencies, their qualifications, so that one day they will have job. What they want is to increase their grades. Their goal is to have a very good grade. At the end of the term, they're happy. Success, I made it. I got an A plus. And interestingly, I love reading surveys and how people interact, how people behaves. And this one is in Australia. And I don't know if you are very familiar with when someone asks you, how's your day? And then someone will just reply, oh, I'm living a dream. There's a background to it. There's a big context behind it. It's so important to understand it. The recent research about that question, 2,600 Australians, last 2017, and they've been asked, what do you mean by living the dream? What exactly is your dream? And 57% of them answered, having the lifestyle of my choice. If you don't understand much of that, having a lifestyle of my choice, you're very fortunate to have that choice. And to live that choice is another level of fortunate. Because back in the Philippines, there's so limited of it. In other part of the country. Second is having financial freedom and independence, meaning they don't want as much as possible to be locked in any loan, mortgage, cars, houses. Third, having safety and security, owning a home. Most of the time, this is number one for other people. But no, it's actually the fourth of the Australian dream. And so on and so forth, having a family. And so important that 23% of Australia believe that living the dream is achievable. And I'm hope of this list here, you agree that some of them is actually your dream as well. And how are you achieving it? And then you ask as well, why people give up? And lots of people really give up to the point where depression is the longest stage of giving up, and there's this suicide. And looking at the reasons why people give up, there's expect fast results, stop believing in themselves, get stuck in the past, dwell on mistakes. There are about 12 there that I've read. But the first 5, when being asked, commonly reason why people give up, they feel sorry for themselves. They stop believing in themselves. They expect fast results. Hurry up. They're very impatient. They fear failure more than desire success. So it's all the mindset now playing in our mind, and they dwell on mistake. These 5, if we look at this and it actually stays in our mind, maybe it's time to reassess how we think. and put more importance on the things that we desire. We want a better family, a family where the kids communicate, a family where the kids are achieving, they're enjoying school, their work. It's a good starting point. Or maybe a revisit of how we are traveling. For Christians, because those surveys is not centered to Christians. But for Christians, our belief of God being with us and helping us to achieve our goal is an advantage that makes us unique. There is hope in what we believe and faith. We hope together with our dream that we will achieve what we aim for. Do you want to be an engineer? Do you want to be a doctor, an accountant? Do you want a refrigeration mechanic or electrician or set up your own business? You pray that God will help you, will guide you. And that's the uniqueness of being Christians. And our persisting attitude to keep pressing regardless of the situation. If you're in uni, how many people I have heard that they quit uni? Too hard. They quit uni. They lost interest. And how many we have heard? Families, divorced. They gave up on each other. They lost believing that they love each other. They lost the persistence. They lost the perseverance. The one tide can push you and you're knocked down, or 100 tides can push you and you're still up there, standing at the front. And it's a good example. I keep reading. What is the best example in the Bible of persistence? There's a parable there of the persistent woman, but I chose Bartimaeus, a very good example. Bartimaeus, in 3 accounts, Mark, Luke, and Matthew, it says there are 2 persons. Bartimaeus was along the road and he heard that Jesus is around the area, Jericho. And this the best account is in book Mark, chapter 10, 46 to 52. Then they came to Jericho as Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. He shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Do you know how difficult that is, that you're blind and you don't know where Jesus exactly is? And you shouted, you called him, and the crowd said, "Shut up. You're done. You are just asking for Jesus." And he shouted louder. Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called to the blind man, "Cheer up, on your feet. He's calling you." These are disciples. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked him. The blind man said, "Rabbi, I want to see." "Go," said Jesus. "Your faith has healed you." Immediately, he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. He became one of the followers of Jesus. It's a very good example. And hopefully, it sits on the heart of each one of us. Many lessons we can take from there. What is he asking? Did he ask immediately when he learned that Jesus was there? He didn't. He humbled himself. He submitted. "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." He's been told off already, but never give up. Being blind, you're close to giving up, but he's begging. Been told off and shouted louder. Can you silence Bartimaeus? The crowd wasn't able to. How many times have we faced this type of hurdle along the way of our goal? For students, how many times you sometimes didn't get the grades you wanted? I myself experienced it and pushed me down, lost my motivation, lost my appetite of learning because I've already pushed so hard and yet didn't get the grade I wanted. Children and youth will learn from us. Adults, we are the first teachers of our children, not the teachers at school. Don't leave it there. Be responsible for whatever they hear, whatever they talk, the language they're using, all started from us. How they behave. Are they impatient? Do they persist? Do they persevere? Do they believe? Whatever we believe should be what we are teaching them as well. Our hope is to be given eternal life. Our hope, one day. And this is our hope as well for our children, for the family around us, and our neighbors. Then extend it to the nearest group of people around us, co-workers, friends. Followers of Christ are not exempt to trials and temptations. 100%. We are just different. Different, not special. I'm not special to the non-believers. I'm not special. I don't have superpowers. What makes us different is the hope and the faith and the guidance of the Lord, that every trials, every temptations, you get someone to hold on to. Now I'm going back to this particular picture. The reason why is learning, teaching, actually teaching our kids how to be persistent. When I was a kid, basketball is a #1 game in the Philippines. As long as you can mount that hoop on the tree, you get the thong and you get a ball inflated or whatever, you're all for the game. Nothing can stop us. The only thing that can stop us is lightning. Rains, that's fine. The problem is, if you're playing on thongs on a rough ground, you more likely going to damage your sleeper. And this is 9 out of 10. So at home, Tom and I usually play basketball. This is very common. We got lots of sleep or thongs that get damaged. And when you are enjoying the game, one of your thong suddenly broke, that's what's gonna happen. Question is, will you stop playing? You get nothing. The ground's so hot, or you get stones there as well. No, you don't. You fix it. You mend what is broken and keep going. When you mend, it's not about the economical value. Tong is $10. Let's say, no, it's not. Learn how to fix things. Teach your kids how to fix things. By then, you are teaching them persistence. You believe that you enjoy basketball, yet after 5 minutes, much will get. This is very common in the Philippines. Nails, anything that is metal can fix my tongue. And after 5 minutes, we're back on the game. Teaching your kids from young age of persistence and how to persevere, you will see them very successful in life in different aspects. Then you become successful. Successful parent, successful teacher. Life is never promised to be easy. Jesus reminded us from John chapter 15:20. Remember what I told you. A servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, this is Jesus, they will persecute you also. If they obey my teaching, they will obey yours also. They persecuted him. And you know, each one of us, how difficult it is to be surrounded in a workplace by non-believers. It's so interesting now that Christians become the minority. Christians become the weird. This is how sometimes they describe us. It doesn't matter because it's been warned already. You stand on what you believe. You live on what you believe. Paul reminded the same to Ephesians. His warning also extends to us. He said, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." How many times we are being challenged? Challenged to be defeated by temptations. So many opportunities here. I like the song that Earl, thank you again, Earl, for the song that you've chosen. It says there, the wicked are living prosperous year after year. Sometimes you can envy. You're working so hard and you give to contribution. They're not. They're living the dream, financially free. But I remain successful. I remain contented because you are at peace with the Lord. Now, just going to close this with a conclusion. Let us inspire each other to dream and set goals. Family, friends, and neighbor. Each one of us at every stage of life have dreams. Parents, grandparents, help your kids and your grandkids on a daily basis. Just ask them, what do you want to do today? If they want to play, play. If they want to draw, draw. If they want to finish their assignments, help them finish the assignment. Because once they have received the result of those assignments and they got a good grades, the happiness extends to you as well. If they enjoyed playing with you, the happiness extends to you as well. If you are able to share the good news of the Lord to others, the happiness extends to you as well. Be an instrument in reaching their dreams. Instrument in reaching, not instrument of defeating. Let us not be weary in sharing what we believe, the good news. It's challenging this time, very challenging, because Christians are believe at work myself. I work in the hospital. They have now removed the Bibles on every ward, to the point where I actually asked them, why do you now have to remove them? And they place it in one box. The reason is, if the patient would like to ask for it, then we will give it to them. So the mindset has changed. Before, it's always in one of the corner of every ward. When we're tired, we all get tired. This autumn and winter, this is where tiredness usually kicks in. Rest, then press on. You just have to take a time. There's no harm in resting. Take a holiday. Have a break. When things are becoming difficult, pause. Pray. And be reminded you have people, brethren, around you who are willing to help or at least listen. The power of having someone to listen to your thoughts, to your what you feel, is magnificent. You can't measure it. Trials and temptations are there to test our faith. Because sometimes we think the trials and temptations is there to challenge, just to challenge you. How tough are you? How strong are you? Go back to what James told us. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. So faith now produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Just like Bartimaeus, his faith, according to Jesus, healed him. Now for us, faith will produce perseverance. Keep believing. Be faithful. When trials is so heavy, be like Bartimaeus. Be louder. Be heard. The word, don't give up. Keep pressing. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Odi, for that encouraging lesson. I think that